Ladies and gentlemen, this is a story that came out on NPR January 14th, 2019. Report: Americans are now more likely to die of an opioid overdose than on the road. And, I have been reporting for some time how these opioid overdoses have outpaced everything: car accidents. It has outpaced even what people call black on black crime. There are way more people dying from opioids than dying from black on black crime. Okay, trust me on that one. And it has surpassed homicides in general in the country as well. So, really, the number one way to die in America right now is from drug overdose. It surpass everything, and suicide is right up there with them. Suicide is extremely high, and I would say that's right behind overdoses in America. For the first time in U.S. history, a leading cause of death, vehicle crashes, has been surpassed in likelihood by opioid overdoses, according to a new report on preventable deaths from the National Safety Council. Americans now have a 1 in 96 chance of dying from an opioid overdose, according to the council's analysis of 2017 data on accidental death. The probability of dying in a motor vehicle crash is 1 in 103. The nation's opioid plague is fueling the council's grim probabilities, and that crisis is worsening with an influx of illicit fentanyl, the council said in a statement released Monday. Fentanyl is now the drug most often responsible for drug overdose deaths, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention reported in December. And that may only be a partial view of the problem. Opioid-related overdoses have also been undercounted by as much as 35%. We always knew they've been lowballing the numbers. I've been telling y'all that for a long time. According to a study published last year in the journal Addiction, the council has recommended tackling the plague by increasing pain management training for opioid prescribers, making the potentially life-saving drug naloxone more widely available, and expanding access to addiction treatment. While the leading cause of death in the U.S. are heart disease, 1 in 6 chance, and cancer, 1 in 7, the rising overdose numbers are part of distressing trend. The nonprofit has tracked. Nothing right now is outperforming all of these drug overdoses, ladies and gentlemen. They can talk all that mess all they want. There is nothing that outpaces these deaths in the country. Nothing. The lifetime odds of an American dying from a preventable unintentional injury have gone up over the past 15 years. It is impacting our workforce. It is impacting our fathers and mothers who are still raising their children, said Ken Kalash, manager of statistics at the National Safety Council. Kalash said that those accidental deaths usually affect people in the core of their life, with greater financial and emotional ramifications than deaths of those in their later years. Vehicle crashes remain a leading danger as well. Kalash said half of the people who die in crashes they analyze were not wearing seatbelts. Meanwhile, the frequency of pedestrian deaths has increased led by a jump in fatalities in urban areas. Pedestrian deaths have been at a 25-year high, according to the Governor's Highway Safety Association. So, what, y'all running over a bunch of pedestrians now? I wouldn't be surprised if many of them that are hitting these pedestrians are under the influence of some kind of drug. Remember, last week I did a report on a baby in a stroller, a little black toddler that was killed by someone behind the wheel under the influence of opioids. So I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case in many of these deaths. A 2017 study found that an average of 13 people a day were killed by cars between 2005 and 2014, and that people of color and the elderly are disproportionately at risk. Historically, roadways have been designed to make it as efficient as possible for the vehicle, Kalash said, noting that bicyclists and pedestrians have been shortchanged. We now have to do a better job of building our infrastructure to accommodate all road users. Yeah, I mean, that's true. But even if you accommodate them and you have a road full of people under the influence of opioids and alcohol, you're still at risk. Okay. Let me just go down a bit. For example, an American's likelihood of dying in a cataclysmic storm is just 1 in 31,394. Dying as a plane passenger is 1 in 188,364. In a train wreck, 1 in 243,765. Falling, 1 in 114. So dying from a fall. Kalash said the probability of dying in a fall has increased. All right, so it was 1 in 119 last year, driven by more record falls among older adults as the U.S. population ages. Experts say the best way to prevent the risk is exercise. It is a reminder, Kalash, that each of the 169,936 preventable deaths recorded in 2017 were preventable. Your odds of dying are 1 in 1, Kalash equipped. But that doesn't mean we can't do something. If, as a society, we put the appropriate rules and regulations in place, we can prevent all accidental deaths in the future. It won't happen, Kalash. It won't happen. One thing I have learned in my lifetime, this country doing the right thing ain't going to happen. They should do the right thing about many things, but they fail to do it, and they're not going to do anything about all of these accidental deaths. They will continue on like it's just the norm when it should not be viewed that way. But please tell me what you think. I am not surprised, given that the opioid plague has been worsening over a 20-year period, that those deaths are the leading ones in the country. Should be of no surprise. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.